Well, as Michelle pointed out, investors will now be watching other central banks closely, and policymakers in Indonesia and Japan, for example, are holding their monthly meetings this week. And some Asian economies like New Zealand and South Korea have already started hiking rates last year to tame inflation. Let's bring in Peter McGuire for more analysis. Peter, thanks for joining us on the program. Judging from Wall Street's reaction to the rate hike, was this hike pretty much priced in by the markets?
Well, I think it was very much priced in. It was baked in from as far as traders were concerned. And I don't think it was a surprise. We looked at that announcement from Fed Chair Powell and his rhetoric. And I think the prognosis or the move over the next six policy meetings is going to take the interest rate to around 1.75 to 2% for the end of 22 and about 2.8% by the end of 2023.
But we face a lot of uncertainties given the ongoing war in Ukraine. So what kind of moves are you expecting from Asian central banks?
I think they'll have to adopt a similar practice in the sense of raising of rates, quite simply because inflation seems to be a beast that's very hard to control at the moment. And that's a great dilemma for any central banker. How do they navigate across that? I think a lot was sitting on their hands waiting to see what the Fed's actions were going to be. So I think it'll be across the globe a similar stance from many central bankers over the next 3 to 6 months.
But there are, of course, concerns that higher rates could actually slow down those economies just recovering from the pandemic.
Absolutely right. That's what, you look at back at the 70s and what that was: high energy costs, high inflation and slow growth to a point that we had stagflation, and that really erodes people's spending power and the growth of any economy. So it's very much a balancing act that the Fed chair is having to sit on. It's a tightrope act, and it's not going to be easy, I think, over the next 18 months. So, traders are looking at it and realizing what we're in store for.
We've been seeing a lot of volatility in commodity prices, check shares, and so on. Is that going to be here to stay?
I wouldn't be surprised. We've seen big moves as far as energy, precious metals, base metals and food. So I do think that you're going to see volatility. There'll be issues as far as the Ukraine production with its wheat and certain grains. You're looking at what's happening with oil and Russia and energy costs with gas and across the whole spectrum for the foods basket. So, yes, I do think that you're going to see continued volatility in that market. And that's a time to really consider where fair price is going to be priced.
Peter, thank you so much for joining us with your analysis there.